Hello students, welcome to MBA 360. If you are one of those students who are really interested in finance, investment banking, capital markets and want to pursue an MBA, the institution I'm about to talk about is the most important thing that you must listen to. Because this particular institution was formed by SEBI, which is Securities Exchange Board of India. And you all should know that SEBI is the single regulatory body that defines, regulates and controls everything that happens in the capital markets in the country, including all the stock markets which have $1 trillion kind of a valuation that you have. If you have $200 billion, $300 billion, that's the kind of valuation that SEBI deals with, rather conglomerates that it actually regulates. And the one that I'm about to talk about, like while SEBI is into enforcing and regulating, the institution that they formed is into financial literacy, compliances, and creating capacity building to ensure that the stock markets of this country, the capital markets of this country are compliant and are built in a very, very structured way. I'm going to talk about NISM, which is National Institute of Securities Markets, right? Now, this one is in Navi Mumbai. It's very close to Bombay for that matter, because SEBI obviously is based out of Bombay and NISM is based out of Bombay. And what I'm going to talk about is what is the course that they offer, what kind of roles that you will get, assuming you pass through this institution, and more importantly, what kind of placements you will get. All those things I'll discuss. But before I move further, please do subscribe to MBA 360 if you think that we are of real help to you. We are able to help you understand and expand your horizons in terms of your chances or roles that you can get into and the kind of institution that we will be able to expose to you so that your choices or options increase from what they are currently at this point in time. Please subscribe to MBA 360. Now I'm talking of National Institute of Securities Markets. This is formed by SEBI, as I told you. It's a single body formed by SEBI. What happened was in 2005, the then Finance Minister, Mr. P. Chidambaram, actually announced there is a need for India to create capacity building so that the capital markets, with the kind of growth that India was seeing, are regulated and there is enough capacity of people who actually understand capacity, ethical way of dealing with stock markets, compliances, and understand the regulations that are there. And the way they thought they should go about doing it is to create a bunch of programs, academic programs, which essentially talk of the kind of regulation that you have in the country and how you can benefit from the regulation while ensuring that you're compliant and also grow the stock markets or capital markets. And based on that, in 2005, the Finance Minister announced it. NSM was formed in 2006. It was formed by SEBI as a trust so that there is greater autonomy for the institution and the institution actually can use its autonomy to create programs which can be certification, skilling or even degree granting programs. And much later, at this point in time, they also have an MBA which is approved by AICTE, which NISM offers, which is a 2-year residential program, which also does fantastically well in terms of the placement that it offers. Right. So this is formed by SEBI. It's over 72 acres in Navi Mumbai, which is very close to Bombay. This is the institution that you're dealing with. Very good institution, by the way. And the program is PGDM, Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Securities Markets. Right. And the exam that they accept is CAT, XAT, CMAT and MAT. We'll come to this later, but understand what SEBI has done. SEBI has created a perfect program for you. There's a 1-year PGPM program and there's 2 years PGDM program, both which are very interesting for those of you who understand numbers, who understand investment banking, want to deal with capital markets, investment banking and those kind of roles, and understand financial, you are very interested in financial management also. So if you are very good at numbers and want to do finance, this is a very, very great option for you. And the reason we are talking about this is there is still open dates where the application deadline is 23rd of March. So you actually have another 10-12 days for you to actually apply for this institution. It's a great opportunity for those people who are wanting to get into securities markets also. Now it's a residential program, remember that. This entire thing is a residential program, so you need to be based out of Navi Mumbai. Now what is the program that they have? For example, they have Postgraduate Diploma in Securities Markets, which is a PGDM program. It's a 2-year regular program. Applicant must possess a strong and consistent academic background, performance in 10th grade, 12th grade and every year graduation or are considered in the selection process. So we'll talk about selection process also, right? They also have 1-year full-time program, which is LLM, Investment and Securities Laws. So they deal with the law of securities markets. And then you have postgraduate program in investment and securities, which is a 1-year program again, a full year program. So one is on law for 1 year and the other one is an investment and securities markets. So these two are PGPM programs and this one is AICTE approved MBA program, which is a PGTM program. Now what are the kind of placement that this institution offers? Last year, for the last data that we have at this point in time, we don't know the exact year, but the batch size was 92 people. of which 81 were placed. The other 11 did not opt for placement. It's a 100% placement. Highest CT is 16.32 lakh and average CT is 9.07 lakh. Right? And when I show you the fee and everything that they charge, now you'll understand why this becomes a very good program, because the kind of ROI that you get on this program is extremely good, because you're dealing with about 16 lakh kind of a salary. And by the way, in this kind of a space, your salary increases dramatically as you keep gaining experience, because this is dealing with securities market, stock markets, capital markets. There is money flow that happens, and because of which the growth will also be very, very astronomical if you're a very well performing person once you join that institution. Now, what is the kind of roles that you get assuming you do this particular program? You can be a research analyst, an equity analyst, an investment manager, a wealth manager, a financial planner, a compliance officer, because I talked of compliance across because of the changing laws. You also saw a PGPay program on compliances, which is laws. Financial planner you can be a compliance officer, you can be a risk manager, treasury manager, investment banker, derivative traders, portfolio strategist, and on and on and on. So you can join any bank, any investment bank, any stockbroker, any mutual fund, and the list is endless again. You can be a wealth manager in a bank. You can be a portfolio manager. So you can keep going on and on. The companies that are coming in, when I show you the companies, you'll understand why these kind of roles fit into that scheme of things, right? What are the companies that come for placement? NSDL, which is Securities Deposit Limited, Morgan Stanley, which is an investment bank, Kotak Securities, NSE, National Stock Exchange, BSE, which is Bombay Stock Exchange, Aditya Birla Capital, right? IDBI Bank, Federal Bank, Yes Bank, Wipro, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Edelweiss, which is an investment bank, UTI Mutual Fund, Motilal Oswal Financial Services, RBL Bank, CDSL, MCX, Axis Mutual Fund, ICICI Securities, CSB Bank, JP Morgan Investment Bank, Stockbroking Services Limited, the Clearing Corporation of India Limited, Reliance Money, Bajaj Asset Management, DCB Bank, Credit Suisse. So you see the kind of roles that you have. You have banks, you have investment bankers, you have consulting companies, you have securities companies, you have Stockholding Corporation of India kind of a thing, right? You have the Clearing Corporation of India. You have some of these wealth managers or portfolio managers like Reliance Money and Bajaj Asset Management, and then you have cooperative banks and everything. So you have securities companies, which is NSE, BSE also is coming in, NSDL, which is Securities Depositories. So you actually have all kinds of companies, and the single source where they actually go and recruit seems to be this one, which is NSIM. Now, how do you get into that? The minimum qualification, of course, is graduation, bachelor's degree of minimum 3 years, and obtain at least 30-50% marks. So that's what your thing is. They take it from CAT, XAT, CMAT, MAT, and the personal interview is online interview, right? Now, what is the application deadline? The applications are open since December 20th, 2025, and the last date of submission is March 23rd, 2026. The announcement or call for online applications, personal interviews comes on April 23. So once you apply, it takes a month for you to get PI dates, right? May 4th to May 13th is the personal interviews that will happen. June 10th, the first selection list comes in. June 20th, second list comes in. And June 30th, the third list comes in. And July 10th is student orientation and document verification. And July 13th onwards, you actually start the classes at the campus. So start applying, because you only have 10-12 days for you now to apply. Now, what is the weightages that you have to get in, right? The CAT or whatever the exam score is 50%, CAT, XAT, whatever it is. Personal interview is 30 marks. Here you need to actually tell them why you're interested and why you're the perfect fit as far as they are concerned. The past academics, which is 10th, 12th, SSC and all, is 5 marks only. Past academics of 12th is 5 marks. Past academics of graduation is 5 marks. So this is academics for you. Right, and the academic diversity or gender diversity is another 5 marks. So if you're a girl, you actually have a advantage because you're likely to get those 5 marks for yourself, right? But 80 marks is between the CAT examination and personal interview. Just you must remember that. Now, what is the fee? The reason why I told you earlier the ROI would be working in your favor is, if you just look at the installments, you're talking of about 1.45 lakh per installment, about 4 installments, all put together 6 lakh rupees. Right, and all put together, if you look at it, the total fee seems to be about 6.78 lakh rupees. At 6.78 lakh rupees, the kind of salary that you're likely to get, you will actually cover it up in the first 8-9 months only. So this is one of those institutions where you're very, very clearly, aligned towards getting greater ROI as compared to what the fee is, because, and the reason is simple, that it is founded by SEBI. So obviously SEBI is not genuinely a profit making entity. It's only trying to create capacity building in terms of everything that SEBI stands for and how it can build capacity, so that there are a lot of people who understand all these things about securities law, securities markets, the compliances that must be there, the kind of roles that you must be careful about. You understand derivatives and options and futures and all those things. What it's doing is creating financial literacy in the country, so that the growth of the capital markets is more structured, more regulated, with more people understanding why certain things are done, which is what the reason why this is the kind of fee you have. And ultimately, in my opinion, this seems to be a very, very good ROI, because at 7 lakh rupees, everything that you're dealing with is much lesser than what you will ultimately end up getting as a benefit. And by the way, the starting salary I told you average is about 9-10 lakh rupees. But trust me, in financial markets, when you join the place, because it's all to do with money, your growth would be astronomical if you're found to be of very good value to the organization that you work in. And some of those organizations, which are the Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan and all, there the salaries grow dramatically once you join the institution and if you are of benefit for the institution. Right. So that is the reason why we talk of that. The accommodation fee is very marginal, 57,000 rupees. The dining fee is 35,000 rupees. So if you add these things also, you're dealing with another 4 lakh rupees. So all put together, 10.5, 11 lakh rupees. You get the best education about securities market, about investment banking, about wealth management, about portfolio management, about being financial planner, about compliances, laws, and everything that you want. And you will get out with it within 1 year, where your salary would be much more than what you spend over the next 2 years while doing this. And when I looked at the data of people who studied at NISM and how they're performing, we realized that about 91% people claim that they studied at NISM. Now, this can be not just a 2-year program, by the way. This can be the skilling programs or certification programs also. So we don't have that different, because this is data that we picked up from LinkedIn of those people who claim that they had something to do with NISM. And there also, about 31% are from Maharashtra, or 25% are from Delhi, UP about 15%, and so on and so forth. And these were they're working at this point in time. 4% of them are working in UAE, about 156, about 1% are working in US, Canada 1%, UK 1%, but most of them are working in Bombay, of course, because Bombay being the head of capital markets, and many more in Delhi, UP and Karnataka. So that is the kind of profile of people who are there, but 9% people are working around the world. For such a small institution, which is so young, 9% of its people are working world over. Because 91% are working and 9% are working, and there you can see where all in UAE, US and all these things is where you're working, and international is about 6% all put together. Right. So from that perspective, again, for such a young institution to have that kind of a spread of people working around the globe, 9% of them working around the globe, this is a very, very credible outcome, student outcome, that this institution seems to have achieved. And by the way, most importantly, when you study here, you can be on your own also. You don't need to work for anyone. You can actually create your own portfolio company. You can actually create your own distributor for mutual funds or stock markets or anything like that. You can be on your own also, and that is really helpful, because you actually create an alumni network which you can lean on, or seek help, or hold your hands when you're falling down, and that is a very big benefit out here. Right. So this is what we are recommending. NISM, if you're interested in investment banking, if you're interested in numbers, if you're interested in finance, if you're interested in number crunching and really want to deal with capital markets and stock markets and all, this is a very good option. Don't let it go. Apply for it. You can deal with it whether you want to go join there or not much later. But at this point in time, you only have 10 days. Apply for it today. Thank you so much. Namaste.